I shall install you.
Very quickly. Very easy. There you go. Enjoy it. That's it.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Well done.
My first task as chairman is to really acknowledge the achievements of Michael. As Michael becomes deputy chairman now, we cannot let this opportunity pass without acknowledging his enormous achievements over the past 2 years. Michael has been recognised leader in the contemporary funky area of gifts and home industry for many, many years now. His development of natural products worldwide with his business partner Jonathan has been an inspiration to those involved in this sector of our community. Last year his company was listed as number 35 in the Sunday Times Fast Track 100 and at 73 in the same paper's international track list of UK companies. Both significant achievements caught the eye of the Prime Minister, as Michael mentioned before, who then invited him to number 10, allowing the GA the opportunity to represent our members' key concerns and help formulate ideas for government to support our business. Michael has been an enormous asset to the GA, and he was an obvious choice to be elected as chairman. He has a deep knowledge and understanding of the very diverse nature of companies involved in the industry and delivering the needs of our members. His vision to help the GA support the retailers, both large and small, has led to the involvement of more of them on the National Committee and within the workings of the association to give greater focus to their needs. And this is a strategy I intend to continue. Strikingly, Michael himself was inspired by the tenacity of his own members, Bryn and Emma Parry, who founded the charity Help for Heroes, and his support of this charity since, both in terms of time and money, has been enormously generous. As chairman of the GA, Michael has provided strong leadership to the industry during the deepest and longest recession known to many, and his positive, upbeat encouragement has been an excellent example to us all. Please join in me applauding Michael for his great contribution to the GA. I would like to thank Michael Pape, who's sat in our audience here, for accepting my offer to be advice for the next 2 years, Michael. And I can't believe where the last 2 years have gone, and it's, 4 years since Mike Burgess was stood up here, and that seems to have gone like that, so you'll be stood in this position very soon. Thank you very much. I think that it is tradition at this point for me to tell you a little bit about me. For those of you who don't know me, I'm 51 years old, and I'm married to Susie, who's going to be with me tomorrow night at the Great. I have 3 children. I am the third of 4 boys who were born into a Yorkshire family, and I believe this has stood me in great stead all my working life, being a strong, robust Yorkshireman. Some say Yorkshire folk are tight, but I would say they are careful. One of my sales guys always tells me that you can always tell a Yorkshireman, but not very much. I was sent away to boarding school at the age of 8 in the Lake District, and then at the age of 13 I moved to a Quaker school in York, where amongst many other things, which I won't go into at this stage, we were taught that you treat other people as you wish to be treated yourself. We were also told the Quaker way is the more you put into life, the more that you will get out of it, and this has been my mantle in my entire life. After A-levels, I went to Leeds Polytechnic to study business, and in 1979, in common with our past chairman, I went to work for Gerald Ratner. In the days when he was flying high, prior to his delivery of the ill-fated speech to the Institute of Directors. In 1980, Widdop Bingham acquired a company called George Macon and Sons Limited in Manchester. This was a very old, established wholesale jewellers. And I was asked by my father if I would like to be involved with this company at the time when we took it over. and I took the decision at that point to join our family business some 32 years ago as the fifth generation. Widdop Bingham have been involved in fancy goods, as it was called then, since 1883, where my great-grandfather started his business in Brighouse, West Yorkshire. We were part of the very first spring fair, which was organised after the Great British Exhibition in 1951 in Harrogate, and then it moved to Blackpool, and then latterly it moved to the NEC, I think, in '74. When I first started working for Widdop in 1980, we were a traditional wholesale distributor of giftware and clocks, buying mainly from UK manufacturers and importers, such as Cavalier, Falstaff, Harman Brothers, Lawtons, Queen Anne, Highlands, and many others, most of whom sadly are no longer in business anymore. At that time in 1980, Margaret Thatcher had just recently been elected. We were heading towards a long, protracted miners' strike, battles with the unions, the Falklands War was around the corner, and unemployment was massively on the rise. Business was tough for small wholesalers of the day at that time. Not dissimilar circumstances to where we are today. My brothers and I were young, similar to what I am today, but 32 years younger, enthusiastic and full of energy, and we felt the need for change. And the necessity of all inventions is, what's the other? Yeah, anyway. The first thing we did was to create a brand to give us our own identity and provide desperately needed margin opportunity that was being eroded in the early 80s in our sector. In 1983, we launched William Widdop Clocks. This was the first of many of our own brands that we have today. 2 years later, as we found ourselves competing with many of our own suppliers at that time, we decided we had no alternative but to source products directly from the Far East. This was a major crossroads for us and represented a massive change in our direction, and one that has been responsible for our continued growth ever since. The second major change to our lives was a massive investment in our own 120,000 square foot distribution centre in Chadderton, where our offices and showroom are based. This was in 1998, 14 years ago. This was our strategy for growth and support, both to the independent trade and to our national accounts. As with many of you here today, we've had to be nimble, and the recognition of a continuous need to change has never been far away. In today's trading environment, it is critical for survival. Adapt or die is a common but apt description of successful and long-standing businesses in this modern era. The internet has changed all our lives forever. The pressure on us for immediate response, 24/7 access through email, social media, is relentless. But what a fantastic opportunity it has brought to all of us as well. We're all tapping into this in different ways as both suppliers and retailers. But if you'd asked me 5 years ago, would I deal with someone selling on eBay? Even 3 years ago, I would have probably said no. Now I will look most probably and say yes. Things have moved on at a pace. I was listening to a news broadcast this morning and it was saying that 1 in 6 people are now on Twitter. Twitter 3 years ago was just a word that you used for bird watching or whatever. Things have moved on, and as a company, we now have 250 customers who are registered as e-tailers. They don't trade out of bricks and mortar. 17% of our entire business now comes from our B2B site. That site only started in 2009. In the 1980s, when I first started in the business, customers used Argos as a benchmark. Now it is giants like Amazon. These are the people we need to be wary of and also understand where they're going. With this in mind, I, as the new chairman, want to embrace the e-tailers and welcome them into the GA fold. I know that this may be controversial to some retail members, but I feel that there is a lot to gain for the GA and from this move to further develop and understand their needs and increase our membership at the same time. The modern shopper, who is our entire customer, everyone in this room, will always change the way they shop and buy. In the gift industry as well as retail, we need to understand these changes. try to be ahead of the curve and continually innovate to ensure we stay at the forefront of both product innovation and also the changing routes to market. The Giftware Association has also changed throughout its existence, and it will be part of my responsibility to be the custodian of change for the next 2 years, with the help and support of the team here at Federation House and the National Committee. I'm very fortunate to be part of a trade with so many good people in it, and privileged to call many of them my friends. I thank everyone in this room for attending the Giftware Association AGM today, and I hope that you have enjoyed the day so far and continue to do so. I wish you good business, good health in these tough and challenging times. Thank you very much.